Burberry and Saint Laurent are just two of the leading fashion houses putting androgynous style front and centre at this month's New York Fashion Week.
They have been featured on the front cover of the leading Irish gay magazine GCN. Ivan Fahy, Ireland's only androgynous model, is about to join us. Walk on in heels. Here you are. He is all the way from Galway.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thanks very much.
You wear heels better than Maura.
And that wouldn't be hard. So, Ivan, when did you decide to become a model?
I always had an interest in modelling, and initially I started doing male modelling, and it just wasn't inspiring enough for me. Like, it was really just boring for me, and I knew I wanted to break out of that and do something else. And I knew in Ireland there wouldn't be sort of an agency that would really be able to take me on and totally go with me. So I decided to do it by myself. So I did my own photo shoots and then put them online, and I got loads of followers. And now, you know, I'm being asked to do photo shoots and fashion shows just from that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I'm doing it by myself online.
Ivan, you knew you were different, I suppose, when you were younger. You were looking for Polly Pockets from Santee and so on.
Yeah. So I played with Barbie dolls and Polly Pockets and any toy, really. For me, I just wanted to play with what I wanted to play with.
Would you play with traditionally boy toys as well?
Yeah, a few, you know. And then when I was older and in secondary school and primary...
We're looking at your Santa letter there, Ivan. Just
Yes.
You're asking for various little things in that.
So Barbie doll, Cinderella, and then also...
An action man.
An action man. So there was a mix.
Yeah.
But then in primary, I did conform. I started to force myself to like football. And then it became fake. But at that age, I think it was genuine. But
When did you know you were gay?
always, yeah.
Always.
So as soon as I knew the sky was blue, I knew I was gay. I knew who I fancied, and even at that age, it wasn't about fancying anyone. It was just who you kind of wanted to hold hands with, or you know what I mean, just like with
Or to hang out with, I suppose.
Yeah. So for me, there was no issue with being gay until I found out that society had a problem with it, and then I had to reevaluate things for myself. But
How
now,
did you take it when you found out that society kind of said, okay, hang on a second here now, that you weren't comfortable with the way society saw you?
Yeah, so in school initially, just from like looking around myself and seeing that people weren't saying what I thought. You know, people weren't saying that they were gay as well. People were ashamed of it, whereas I wasn't. And so I kind of kept it quiet for a while. But
It's
now...
one thing to be gay, though, but I mean, going down this road is very different,
very
for Ireland, as you say. Now, we actually should show some photos to illustrate your work, Ivan. And as you said, a lot of these you've done yourself. You've worked on these yourself, so you're kind of you're a stylist too.
I do. So I do my own styling, and I work with the makeup artist and the team too. So I'm very in charge of my own look, which is important for me because I suppose in many ways I'm my own brand. I'm not just a typical model.
Does Ireland have a market for this? I mean, that's a great shot there. Does Ireland have a market for this type of work?
It's hard to know. There is a market if people are brave enough to go with it. You know, if a designer is welcoming of me, you know. For me, modelling is about modelling. It's not about...
It's not a sex thing, is it? It's not male or female.
Making money.
Yeah. Well,
in
for
one
me,
sense.
yeah, for the designer. But for me, well, yeah, obviously, but if it's a job, but it's about the art and the creativity. And for me, you know, I want to be a blank canvas, a model. I think that's how all models should be.
Yeah, and we've seen androgynous models on the catwalk walking as well as any woman. A male androgynous model walking as well as any woman. And that's what you feel you could do.
Yeah, and so when you think, well, it's what I do, you know. I do fashion shows and photo shoots, so I've been doing it now for about 2 years. And, you know, that's what I think about with gender is we're raised to be only the way we were expected to be. So men aren't used to seeing themselves feminine and women aren't used to seeing themselves masculine, but we're able to put on those roles. You know what I mean?
And you graduated in a pair of high heels.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so it came up to my graduation and I wanted to graduate how I would if I live in a perfect world, but I don't. So I started to second guess myself and I was like, should I really do this, you know? Everybody gets dressed up at the graduation and I wanted to too.
Dressed the way you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's your mom, Vivian.
Yeah,
we actually have her on Skype from Saudi Arabia. Hello.
Hi, Vivian.
Hi, Mom. Hi.
You're very proud of your son, aren't you?
I am, and I always have.
Did you ever try to make him conform to more boyish things as he was growing up, or in the sense that a mother would be a little bit worried that it might be difficult for him going down this road of as an androgynous model and wearing heels and all that as a guy?
I suppose conforming was never an issue. Within our house, we were allowed to express it because we were very close
We have sound
Sorry,
issues
Vivian,
there.
we're having sound issues with the Skype there. Your mom was always very, very proud of you, and she was behind you all 100% since the beginning.
Always. Yeah, always. There was never an issue. I mean, things would have been so different if she had an issue with it. I could just be myself, and that was why it was so maybe extreme then to go to school and find quite a difference, because at home everything was fine.
Yeah. Do you dress always more female rather than male?
I don't, but see, again, it's like any girl. If it's raining outside, she'll put on
But
jockeys,
is it always the female form you go towards? Like you were saying,
Yeah.
you don't want to be seen in any way sexually, in the sense. So do you wear guys' clothes?
Yeah, of course. You know, I was assigned male at birth and identify as male, and I'm completely fine with that, but I decide what male means for me, and it means wearing high heels too.
Okay, so you like that too.
So I dress for the weather and, you know, the function, the event.
Do you think you look better dressed in women's clothes?
Yeah, I do. Well,
Do you feel better inside when you wear them?
I do. It gives me confidence. You know, the skinny jeans, the high heels, it's the same for any woman. High heels give you that. It gives a human, and not just it gives a female.
You're very tall. You've got to say, you're very tall. You're 6'3" in flats.
Yeah. So I'm quite tall in person, so especially in high heels, so, you know, I'm well able to take on the haters.
How did you find adjusting to the heels?
Yeah, I didn't even have to adjust. I got my first pair in 2013, and I just, like duck to water, I was able to do it. I never had to break in heels to learn. It
I'd have
was
to
in
go
me.
to classes
I wore them on the road
I
at Tralee
should do
one
that.
time, and I almost went off the stage into the guarded band. So
I'll have to give you both lessons. Yeah.
You certainly do. Well, good luck with the future.
Thank you very much.
And you may have
Best of
to,
luck.
I think, flee our shores and come back.
Yeah,
I think
hopefully. We'll
that's
see,
probably
yeah.
will be the way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.